this year, there was an executive from Korean Air who got a lot of negative feedback after she kicked off a flight attendant and also forced the pilot to turn the plane back to New York after the flight attendant had the audacity to give her a bag of macadamia nuts in a bag instead of on a plate.
Okay? How dare she?
So she threw a bit of a fit over this, okay? She was appalled, and part of her job as an executive at Korean Air was to do quality control, right?
Okay,
to make sure that people are doing their jobs. But she wasn't on that particular flight for that reason. She was just traveling. So she fires this guy, she turns the plane back, and a lot of people were upset at her for doing this, right? In fact, some people said that she insulted the flight attendant. He claims that she made him kneel in front of her and apologize as she was insulting him.
That's kind of hot.
So now here's the update to the story.
Okay.
Aviation officials and prosecutors in Korea have put out a warrant for her arrest. Apparently, she broke aviation laws, and as a result, will have to face prosecution. Now, a little backstory to this, which I find really interesting. A lot of people were criticizing prosecutors for being in bed with Korean Air officials, but now I feel like they're kind of doing some strike back, and they're overcompensating by issuing this arrest warrant and now going after her very aggressively.
Yeah. So I guess they're going to bust a nut.
What's wrong with you lately? What's wrong with you lately?
Okay. So I agree with you. It does seem like a bit of an overreaction, right? So, like, okay, she got fired. She should have gotten fired. Okay, she went nuts. Okay, I'm not trying on that. Okay.
And she did resign shortly after this whole controversy was in the media.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by fired. Like in politics and with executives, oftentimes you're forced to resign, right? So that's kind of what happened here. Because, yeah, I get it. You care a lot about your job. You want to do quality control, but you lost it, right? So arrest, God, man. So it makes me angry in the opposite direction, which might be unexpected. Because I'm pissed at everything the planes are doing, right? And one of the things that's my pet peeve is the flight attendants are now gods, right? Everybody that works at the airport is a god now, okay? If you even look at them the wrong way, I will turn this plane around, and then you will face $90,000 worth of damages, and now apparently you can even be arrested, right? Did you just look at me like, did you just ask for orange juice? Is that what you just did, right? And so arresting her, come on, dude, it's outside the bounds of reason. It's a real pain in the ass for everybody, and I'm glad she got fired. Okay, if I was on that flight, I'd be enraged, but I don't want to arrest her.
Right, so I think that there are details that we don't know yet. There are allegations that she got abusive with the guy. I don't know if that means physically abusive or if it was just verbally abusive.
Okay, well, that's totally different if she assaulted her.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point, based on what we know, it does sound a little excessive to arrest her, but aviation law is aviation law. And if she broke the law, I don't care if you're an executive or if you're just some random person, you have to face prosecution. And apparently there was another executive with Korean Air that tried to hide evidence and brush this under the rug so it wouldn't become a public spectacle. But now that official is also facing prosecution for trying to cover things up.
Yeah. You hear what she said when she first got the nuts? It's like, you put them in a plastic bag? These nuts? These nuts?